Welcome to Chemistry Academy by Tanzil sir. Dear student, today we will discuss the physical chemistry. Our topic name is Chemical Thermodynamics Part 2. Now related to chemical thermodynamics, already you have studied in your 12th and FY BSc, first year BSc. Now all basic concept which is required for this lecture, or we can say for SYBSc Chemical Thermodynamics, all basic concept you know. What is thermodynamics? What is chemical thermodynamics? What are the terms used in case of chemical thermodynamics, like system, surrounding, boundary, type of system, process, type of process, different laws are there. Thermodynamics first law, second law, third law, zero law, all points you have discussed in your first standard. Now the next part of your thermodynamics that we are going to discuss. Okay, now in today's video lecture we will try to study what is free energy. Only this concept we will try to cover, what is free energy. Now here, to start free energy, one should know what is energy. Yes, to study the free energy, we should know what is the mean energy. Now in your basic concept, as per your knowledge, energy means, we can say, capacity to do the work, capacity to perform the work, that is called as the energy. Likewise, we can define energy, it is the measure of system ability. What is energy? Only energy. Yeah? After that we will come to our point, what is free energy. Now energy means, we can say, it is the measure of system ability to perform the work. Now system ability means system capacity, and what is system? We know the thermodynamics part, which is under thermodynamical consideration, which is under thermodynamic study, that is called as the system, and the ability to perform the work of system, it is called as the energy. So you can write the definition of energy, it is the measure of system ability to do the work. Now we will come to our concept, what is free energy. Now to start free energy, let me revise some points, like your first law of thermodynamics. You have studied one form of energy can be converted into another form of energy. Energy of the isolated system remains constant. Energy neither create nor destroy. All that points we know. And in case of second law of thermodynamics, you have studied related to entropy. All that point in first standard. Okay. Now just we will start from conversion of energy. One form of energy can be converted into another form of energy, and by looking to that concept we will come to our point, what is free energy. Now when one form of energy convert into another form of energy, when energy convert into work, all energy cannot be converted into work. There is some loss of energy. Just concentrate on my points. What I am saying, based on that concept, we will try to cover free energy. When energy convert into work, there is loss of energy. Means all energy cannot completely convert into work. If I am saying this sentence, all energy cannot convert completely into work, means there is some loss of energy, means there is some unavailable energy to do the work. Some energy convert into work, that energy is called as the available energy. जो एनर्जी वर्क में कन्वर्ट होगा, that is called as the available energy, and the energy which is lost and which cannot be converted into work, that energy is called as the unavailable energy. See, I am taking two concepts, 2 points. One is your available energy and second one is your unavailable energy. What is available energy? The energy which can be converted into work. Available energy, the energy which can be converted into work, that is called as the available energy. And what is unavailable energy? The energy which cannot be converted into work or loss of energy. And based on these two concepts, we are going to discuss our point, free energy. Now the available energy which is converted into work and unavailable energy which cannot be converted into work, and based on these 2 points we are going to discuss free energy. Now suppose a system, say gas may be expand or it may be compressed, that is the work done by work of the gas. Expansion and compression, ये गैस का वर्क हो गया, and that gas act as a system. Now suppose a system absorb q amount of heat. Suppose a system absorb q amount of heat. Okay, now here system absorb q amount of heat. So here systems doing the work. Absorption, system doing the work, it's okay, let it be absorption. Now what is unavailable energy? How we will find out the energy which convert into work? That is called as the available energy. वो हो गया, लेकिन what is unavailable energy? यहाँ मैं unavailable energy कैसा find out करूँगा? So the unavailable energy, it is the product of unavailable energy, it is the product of temperature into entropy. T is the temperature, S is the entropy, Q is the amount of heat absorbed by the system. So what will be available energy? अब यहाँ पर अपन available energy कैसा find out करेंगे? Now Ts, it is unavailable energy, the product of temperature and entropy, it is unavailable energy. Now we have to find out the available energy. Available energy, it is the difference, that is Q minus Ts. Available energy, it is the difference, that is Q minus Ts, and this available energy, it is called as free energy. Available energy, it is called as free energy. So how to define the free energy? The energy which is available to perform the maximum work. Simple one line. What is free energy? The energy which is available to perform the work, to do the work, that available energy is called as the free energy. And how to find out the free energy? It is the difference. Minus means it is the difference between amount of heat absorbed or evolved, whatever it is, in minus T into S. T is the temperature, S is entropy, and this product is called as the unavailable energy. And based on this concept, free energy is equal to Q minus Ts. The different scientists work under different condition, and based on the condition there are two types of free energy. अब based on the condition means we can say some process take place at constant temperature, you know, that is called isothermal process. Some process take place at constant volume, that is called as isochoric process. Some process take place at constant pressure, that is called as the isobaric process. So based on the condition, this free energy terms are divided into 2 points. At constant pressure, see here, at constant pressure, and second one is here at constant volume. Second one is here at constant volume. If free energy change take place at constant volume, free energy take place at constant volume, it is given by Helmholtz. Yes, it is given by Helmholtz, and this is called as your Helmholtz free energy. Yes, it is given by Helmholtz, and this is called as Helmholtz free energy. And the free energy change at constant pressure, it is given by Gibbs, and this energy is called as Gibbs free energy. This is called as your Gibbs free energy. So under different circumstances, under different condition, the free energy are of two types. One is your Helmholtz free energy, H for Helmholtz, Helmholtz free energy, and at constant pressure, this concept was given by Gibbs, and it is called as your Gibbs free energy. So student, our today's point is only free energy. So what is free energy? The available energy to perform maximum work, it's called as the free energy. And how many types of free energy? Two. One is your Helmholtz free energy and second one is your Gibbs free energy, but under different condition. At constant volume, free energy is called as Helmholtz free energy, and at constant pressure, free energy given by Gibbs, and it is called as Gibbs free energy. And what is the formula for free energy? Formula for free energy is Q minus Ts. Okay, Q minus Ts. Now Helmholtz free energy, it is represented by symbol A. Helmholtz free energy, it is represented by symbol A, and at constant volume, this Q, it is replaced by E. Q, it is replaced by E. So what is Helmholtz free energy? A is equal to E minus Ts. A is your Helmholtz free energy and Q is replaced by E at constant volume. So what is Helmholtz free energy? A is equal to E minus Ts. This is called as your Helmholtz free energy. And at constant pressure, the free energy is given by Gibbs. So here Gibbs free energy is represented by G. Gibbs free energy, it is represented by G, and here Q, it is replaced by H. Q, it is replaced by H. So G is equal to H minus Ts. G is equal to H minus Ts. Now A is equal to E minus Ts. This is your Helmholtz free energy. Helmholtz free energy, and G is equal to H minus Ts. This is your Gibbs free energy. And now these 2 points we will try to discuss in 2 lectures. In today's lecture, we will discuss only derivation of Helmholtz free energy. हम लोग क्या स्टडी करेंगे? Derivation of Helmholtz free energy. And now in second video lecture, we will try to cover Gibbs free energy. So hope you have understood the concept, what is free energy and what are the different types of free energy. Okay, so dear students, you are getting my point. What is available energy? The energy which is used to convert into work, yet to perform the work. And what is unavailable energy, which is lost or which cannot convert into work. Okay, and how to find out the available energy, how much energy is convert into work, वो अपन कैसा find out करेंगे? That is your amount of heat absorbed evolved by the system minus unavailable energy. And unavailable energy, it is the product of temperature and entropy. So here heat Q minus temperature into entropy, this product is called as unavailable energy. And based on the condition at constant volume and at constant pressure. Now at constant volume, this concept was given by Helmholtz and it is called as Helmholtz free energy, that is A is equal to E minus Ts, where A is the Helmholtz free energy. Okay, now E minus Ts. What is Gibbs free energy? G is equal to H minus Ts. Now based on this introductory part, today we will discuss only one derivation, that is Helmholtz free energy, which is at constant volume. Helmholtz free energy which is at constant volume. Okay, let me start our free energy concept, that is from what is Helmholtz free energy. Each and every points we will try to cover. Okay, now come to the concept Helmholtz free energy. Now Helmholtz free energy, actually Helmholtz, it is the German scientist. This concept was given by German scientist Hermann von Helmholtz. Name of scientist is given. Okay, now Helmholtz free energy, it is represented by the symbol A. You know Helmholtz free energy, it is represented by the symbol A. Okay, now this free Helmholtz free energy, actually this word come from the German language and from Arbeit. This A come from the German language Arbeit. In German, work is called as the Arbeit. In German, work is called as the Arbeit. वहाँ से word sentence आया हुआ है. This Helmholtz, it is represented by A, and this word A come from the German language Arbeit. And what is the mean Arbeit? Arbeit means work, and that's why Helmholtz free energy is the work function. इसलिए Helmholtz free energy को अपन क्या बोलते हैं? Work function. Now second point, this Helmholtz free energy means this A, it is a state function. Helmholtz free energy, it is the state function. आप लोगों ने स्टडी किया है in first year BSc. There are two thermodynamic function. One is your path function and second one is your state function. You know very well. I'm not going to discuss that parts. If the system depends upon initial state and final state, that is called as your state function, and it independent on state, that is depend upon the path followed by the system, it is called as the path function. ये आपका सब BSc फर्स्ट ईयर में हुआ है. यू नो व्हाट इज द स्टेट फंक्शन. ओके, सिस्टम डिपेंड्स अपॉन इनिशियल स्टेट एंड फाइनल स्टेट, दोनों भी स्टेट अवेलेबल रहते हैं. नाउ सेकंड पॉइंट, दिस हेल्महोल्ट्ज फ्री एनर्जी, इट इज अ एक्सटेंसिव प्रॉपर्टी. यस, हेल्महोल्ट्ज फ्री एनर्जी, इट इज अ एक्सटेंसिव प्रॉपर्टी. इन थर्मोडायनेमिक्स FY में आप लोगों ने डिस्कस किया होगा. देयर आर टू टाइप्स ऑफ थर्मोडायनेमिक्स प्रॉपर्टी. वन इज योर इंटेंसिव प्रॉपर्टी and second one is your extensive property. One is your intensive property and second extensive. Now Helmholtz free energy, it is the extensive property. But what is intensive property, what is extensive property, ये सब आपका FY में हुआ है. फिर भी मैं extensive property repeat करता हूँ. The property, thermodynamic property, whose value depends upon quantity या amount of matter present in the system. Yes, what is extensive property? The property whose value depends upon the amount of matter present in the system. अब amount of matter present in the system, suppose I am saying I am taking this much amount of sugar. Now sugar, its unit is mass, gram, kilogram. Yes, it is measured in mass. Unit is gram or kilogram. Suppose the mass या weight of this much sugar is 1 kg. Okay, so sugar is the matter. This is the quantity, amount. Now in second way, I am taking this much amount of sugar. So definitely this will be greater than 1. मतलब मैंने जैसी quantity, amount change किया, property मतलब उसका weight change हो रहा है. इतना शुगर का वेट 1 kg था, दिस मच शुगर वे विल बी 2 kg or more than 2.5 something. This is called as depend upon the amount of matter present in the system. और अगर वो independent रहा, that is called as intensive property. जैसे boiling point है, the boiling point of water is 100. अब वो water 1 ml है तो भी उसका boiling point 100 रहेगा. Suppose the water is 100 ml, still its boiling point will be 100. Suppose the water is 10 liter, still its boiling point will be 100. मतलब boiling point amount quantity पर depend नहीं कर रहा. आप 1 ml water ले रहे, 10 ml water ले रहे, 100 ml water ले रहे, that quantity, that property remains same. Property मतलब boiling points remains same. That is called as intensive property, which independent on amount of matter. And which depends upon the amount of matter, that is called as the extensive property. So what is Helmholtz free energy? It is represented by the symbol A. It comes from the German word Arbeit, which means work, and that's why Helmholtz free energy is called as the work function. It is a state function and it is extensive property. Okay, now I think you have understood this part. Let me start the derivation of Helmholtz free energy. One by one we will try to cover the derivation of Helmholtz free energy. Now the Helmholtz free energy, it is given by the formula A is equal to E minus Ts. Suppose this is my equation number 1. A is equal to E minus Ts. This is my equation number 1. Now we are saying Helmholtz free energy, it is a state function, means it depends upon initial state and final state. So we can take here Helmholtz free energy. Yes, Helmholtz free energy in initial state. Helmholtz free energy in initial state and final state. Helmholtz free energy in initial state and final state. Initial state it is represented by 1. Final state it is represented by 2. So in initial state A become A1 is equal to E become E1 minus T1 S1. Suppose my equation number 2. In final state A become A2, E become E2 minus T2 S2. This is my equation number 3. Because it is a state function. It depends upon A1, matlab initial state. A2 means your final state. Now by looking to this initial state and final state, we can find out the change in Helmholtz free energy. Now here HFE means Helmholtz free energy. Now the change in Helmholtz free energy, it is calculated delta A. Now here delta A, it is the change in Helmholtz free energy. And how to find out the change final state minus initial state? You know very well. Now here the final state is A2 minus initial state is A1, and suppose this is my equation number 4. Okay. So how to find out the change in Helmholtz free energy? A2 minus A1, and suppose this A2 minus A1, this is my A2 minus A1, this is my change in Helmholtz free energy. Now student, simple mathematical derivation is there. Substitute the value of A1 and A2. What is the value of A1? Your A1 is E1 minus T1 S1. And what is A2? A2 is your E2 minus T2 S2. So substitute this value of A1 and A2 in equation number 4. So here the change in Helmholtz free energy become, what will be the change in Helmholtz free energy? So we can write here delta A is equal to A2. The value of A2 is E2 minus T2 S2. Okay. Now this minus A1, what is your A1? E1 minus T1 S1. Suppose this is my equation number 5. Okay. Suppose process take place at constant temperature. Process take place at constant temperature. At constant temperature means there will be no change in temperature, and no change in temperature means T1 is equal to T2 is equal to T. T1 is equal to T2 is equal to T. Now just we will rearrange the equation number 5. अब मैं कैसे rearrange करता हूँ? Take energy E1 E2 at one side and this product at another side. So we can write here delta A is equal to, see here we can write here delta A is equal to E2 minus E1. Yes, this become E2 minus E1. Okay, E2 minus E1. Okay, minus this temperature remains constant, that is your T. In bracket we will write here S2 minus minus, okay, here S2 minus S1, S2 minus S1. Now here E2 minus E1, energy in final state minus energy in initial state. So you can write here change in Helmholtz free energy is equal to delta E minus T delta S. Now S2 minus S1 means your delta S. Okay. E2 minus E1 is your delta E. This is my equation number 5. This become equation number 6 and this is your equation number 7. Now this process take place at constant temperature. This process take place at constant temperature and this is a reversible process. और जब भी रिवर्सिबल प्रोसेस रहता we can easily define the entropy. In reversible process, the definition of entropy is given. Now change in entropy, that is your delta S, and it is given the amount of heat absorbed or evolved. Amount of heat absorbed or evolved. Now heat, it is represented by the symbol Q. Per unit means divided, per unit temperature. So here we can write delta S, change in entropy is equal to Q per unit matlab divided by temperature. Now this is my equation number 8. Now rearrange equation number 8. rearrange equation number 8, just temperature को इधर shift करो, so this become T into delta S is equal to Q, and this Q is Q reversible because my process is reversible process at constant temperature. Now student, I hope you have understood this concept up to here, that is change in entropy is equal to Q reversible divided by temperature. It is a temperature factor. This is the definition of delta S. Substitute the value of T delta S. Substitute the value of T delta S in equation number 7. Substitute the value of T delta S in equation number 7. See here. Substitute value of T delta S in equation number 7. What is my equation number 7? Delta A, change in Helmholtz free energy, is equal to change in internal energy minus temperature into change in entropy. Instead of T delta S, write here Q reversible. So this change in Helmholtz free energy delta A is equal to delta E minus Q reversible, and this become, see, this is my equation number 9, this become my equation number 10. So what is change in Helmholtz energy? Delta A is equal to delta E minus Q reversible. From where this Q reversible? According to definition of change in entropy in reversible process, we have rearranged this point. Now hope you have understood up to here. Now see here, we are going to find out the derivation of Helmholtz free energy, how it is related to work, because we are saying the maximum amount of energy convert into work, we have performed the work, doing the work, that is called as the Helmholtz free energy. Now from here, see here, according to first law of thermodynamics, in FYBSc we have studied, okay, but according to first law of thermodynamics. Now what is your first law of thermodynamics? Statement you know very well. First law of thermodynamics, energy neither create nor destroy. One form of energy can be converted into another form of energy. Okay, what is mathematical derivation, yeah, mathematical definition of first law of thermodynamics? That is your delta E is equal to Q plus W. Delta E is equal to Q plus W, that is your mathematical derivation, yeah, definition of first law of thermodynamics. Now suppose this is my equation number 11. Now in reversible process, Q become Q reversible, work become W reversible. Now rearrange this equation. We can write here W reversible is equal to delta E minus Q reversible, and this is my equation number 12. just मैंने इसको rearrange किया. W reversible is equal to Q को इधर लेके चले जाओ, delta E minus Q reversible. Now two types of process we have studied. One is your reversible process and second one is your irreversible process. दोनों process हमने study किया है. In which case the maximum work done will take place. आपका ये 12th में भी हुआ है, BSc फर्स्ट ईयर में भी हुआ है. Under which condition the maximum work done will take place, whether it is reversible process or irreversible process? Definitely maximum work done take place in reversible process. कहाँ होता है maximum work done? Reversible process. So right here, since process is reversible, here work in reversible process is equal to maximum work, W max. W reversible is replaced by W max. Therefore this equation become W max is equal to, okay, W max is equal to delta E minus Q reversible, and this is my equation number 13. This is my equation number 13. Okay, according to first law of thermodynamics we have studied. Now student, see here, here we have written delta A, equation number 7. I am talking about equation number 7. Delta A, change in Helmholtz free energy is equal to delta E minus T delta S. And here I am writing, compare this to equation. Compare this to equation. Here I am writing W max is equal to delta E minus Q reversible. Okay. Now, better way. Come to here, equation number 10. Compare this to equation. Okay. Let me finish my point. Equation number 10 and 13. Delta A is equal to delta E minus Q reversible. And here W max is equal to delta E minus Q reversible. Means we can say these two factors are the same. Am I right? These two factors are the same. So by comparing equation number 10 and equation number 13, can I write here delta A is equal to W max? Are you getting my point? Compare equation number 10 and 13. Right here, comparing equation 10 and 13. Okay, can I write here delta A, change in Helmholtz free energy is equal to maximum work done. Rest of the factors are the same. So here definitely we can write here delta A is equal to W max. Hope you are getting this point. Now, so this equation, suppose 14, equation number 14. A slight change I am going to do here. Now I am writing here delta A is equal to minus W max. See here, slight change I am doing. Delta A is equal to plus W max. मैंने उसको convert किया minus W max में. Why this change take place? Because work done by the system. Sign convention in second video lecture we will discuss. When work is done by the system, W max minus, and work is done on the system, W क्या हो जाता है तुम्हारा plus हो जाता है. Okay, so here why I am putting minus sign? Because work is done by the system. सिस्टम वर्क कर रहा है, वो अपना इंटरनल एनर्जी यूज कर रहा है, तो डेफिनेटली देयर विल बी लॉस ऑफ इंटरनल एनर्जी एंड दैट्स व्हाई दिस साइन बिकम नेगेटिव. ओके, और दिस equation we can write likewise also, or we can write here minus, see here, minus delta A is equal to W max, whatever it is, minus A delta A is, see we have minus sign अपने change किया. Now this minus sign indicates decrease, and minus delta A means we can say the decrease in Helmholtz free energy. माइनस डेल्टा ए का मतलब क्या आएगा? द डिक्रीज इन चेंज इन हेल्महोल्ट्ज फ्री एनर्जी इज इक्वल टू मैक्सिमम वर्क डन बाय द सिस्टम ड्यूरिंग द चेंज टेक प्लेस. व्हाट इज माय फाइनल कंक्लूजन? द डिक्रीज इन हेल्महोल्ट्ज फ्री एनर्जी, द डिक्रीज इन change in Helmholtz free energy is equal to maximum work done by the system. तो सिस्टम कब मैक्सिमम वर्क डन करेगा? जब उसका फ्री हेल्महोल्ट्ज फ्री एनर्जी चेंज क्या होगा? डिक्रीज होगा. एंड दैट इज माय फाइनल कंक्लूजन. माइनस डेल्टा ए इज इक्वल टू डब्ल्यू मैक्स, एंड दिस इज द डेरिवेशन ऑफ योर हेल्महोल्ट्ज फ्री एनर्जी. कहाँ से स्टार्ट किया अपने? हेल्महोल्ट्ज फ्री एनर्जी. इट इज रिप्रेजेंट बाय द सिंबल ए. ए इज इक्वल टू ई माइनस Ts. T is the temperature, S is the entropy. Since Helmholtz free energy, it is a state function, it depends upon initial state and final state. मतलब A we can write A1, A we can write A2. A1 Helmholtz free energy in initial state, A2 Helmholtz free energy in final state. Likewise, this quantity will be changed because it is a state function. E become E1, E become E2. T, T1, S, S1, whatever it is. This process takes place at constant temperature, reversible process. So what is the definition of change in entropy? First law of thermodynamics, compare this equation, all points. This is a derivation of Helmholtz free energy. Hope you have understood this point. So student, pause your video, take a screenshot and note down all points which is given to you. Note down all points. Pause your video and note down all points which are necessary. Okay. Now in my next video lecture, we will try to cover what is Gibbs free energy, which is represented by G, and G is equal to H minus Ts, and some sign conversion we will try to cover. So note down all this point. Thank you.